The Confederation had made a grave miscalculation. They had assumed humanity would surrender after the orbital bombardment of New Tehran, Jakarta, and Lagos. 7 billion souls vaporized in coordinated plasma strikes, reduced to atmospheric dust that painted Earth's sunsets crimson for months. The alien diplomats had transmitted their ultimatum with the certainty of those who had conquered 1,000 worlds. Submit or face total annihilation. They didn't understand humans at all. Commander Kate Sullivan stood on the observation deck of the UHSF Retribution, watching Earth's moon drift past the reinforced viewport. Her reflection stared back. Hollow eyes, jaw set in permanent granite, the insignia of United Humanity Space Force gleaming on her collar. Behind her, the war room hummed with controlled chaos as officers coordinated the largest military operation in human history. Operation Extinction is go in T-minus 40 minutes, Lieutenant Tanner Cross announced, his voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were about to unleash. He was young, barely 25, but the massacre had aged them all. His entire family had been in Lagos when the skies turned white. Kate turned from the viewport. Fleet status? All 7 battle groups are in position, Tanner replied, pulling up holographic displays that filled the center of the war room. Thousands of human vessels cobbled together from military ships, retrofitted civilian craft, and experimental prototypes that had never been meant to leave the solar system. The Confederation's 4th Fleet is holding standard orbit around their staging world, Corvanus Prime. They think we're still in mourning. A bitter smile crossed Kate's face. Humans did mourn. They mourned with nuclear fire and singularity warheads. They mourned with weapons the Confederation's 3,000-year empire had never conceived of in their longest nightmares. The aliens had been so superior, so advanced in their conventional warfare. Their energy shields could deflect any known projectile. Their plasma cannons could slag continents. Their faster-than-light drives had conquered half the galaxy. But they had never fought a species that viewed the laws of physics as suggestions rather than boundaries. Status on the quantum entanglement mines? Kate asked. Deployed and synced, confirmed Dr. Yuki Tanaka from her station, her fingers dancing across haptic interfaces. The Confederation has no idea they've been surrounded by 2,000 pocket dimensions containing antimatter charges. The moment we collapse the quantum states, their entire fleet will exist in the same space as enough antimatter to crack a planet. It was humanity's dark gift, the willingness to weaponize anything, to turn the elegant mathematics of quantum mechanics into instruments of genocide. The Confederation had mastered energy manipulation, biological engineering, gravitational control. Humanity had mastered spite. Kinetic penetrators, Kate continued down her checklist. The railgun platforms are armed, Tanner reported. 40,000 tungsten rods, each weighing 20 tons, accelerated to 0.95 light speed. They won't show up on Confederation sensors until impact. By the time their shields activate, the rods will have already passed through their ships like they're not even there. Kate nodded. Shields stopped energy and slow-moving matter. They did nothing against relativistic projectiles that converted themselves into plasma on impact, releasing energy equivalent to strategic nuclear weapons. Humans had learned that lesson from nature itself. Meteors didn't care about force fields. And the Reaper virus? Dr. Tanaka's expression darkened. Loaded into the infiltrator drones. Once they penetrate Confederation data networks, the virus will spread to every connected system in their empire. It's been programmed to target their atmospheric processors specifically. Within 72 hours, every Confederation colony world will lose breathable air. 7 billion humans for 7 billion aliens. The mathematics of vengeance were precise. Commander, Tanner said quietly, stepping closer, once we initiate Operation Extinction, there's no going back. The Confederation will retaliate against Earth with everything they have. Let them come, Kate replied, her voice cold as deep space. The moment they hit Corvanus Prime, we launch Phase 2 against their homeworld, then Phase 3 against their colony clusters. We've already lost everything that mattered. Now we're just making sure they understand what it means to pick a fight with a species that invented the concept of mutually assured destruction before we could leave our own atmosphere. Humanity had been peaceful once. They had reached out to the stars with hope and wonder. The Confederation had responded with contempt and violence, had treated Earth like an infestation to be sterilized. They had forgotten the most important rule of natural selection: never corner a predator. "T-minus 10 minutes, announced the fleet coordinator. Kate returned to the viewport, watching the assembled might of human rage arranged in formation against the stars. Behind her, Tanner moved through the war room with quiet efficiency, ensuring every system was ready, every weapon primed, every crew member prepared for what they were about to do. "Commander," Tanner said, joining her at the viewport, "my sister was 8 years old. She was in Lagos visiting our grandparents." Kate glanced at him. She saw the same thing in his eyes that she felt in her soul. Not madness, not hatred, but something far more terrifying: absolute clarity of purpose. "My husband and daughter were in Jakarta," she said softly. "Marcus was teaching a conference on sustainable fusion. Lily was 9. They stood in silence, 2 humans among millions who had become living weapons, animated by nothing more than the determination to ensure the Confederation understood their mistake. "T-minus 1 minute. Kate straightened, activating the fleet-wide communication channel. Millions of humans across thousands of ships waited for her words. "This is Commander Sullivan to all vessels," she began, her voice carrying across the void. "The Confederation thought they were teaching us a lesson. They thought fear would make us submit. They were wrong. Today, we teach them what humanity learned in our bloodiest centuries: that there are some lines you don't cross, that genocide demands answer, that we may be young, we may be primitive, but we are absolutely done being victims." She paused, watching Earth's moon disappear behind the retribution. "Operation Extinction is now active. For the 7 billion. For our future. For the principle that humanity will never, ever die quietly." "Aye, Commander," came the response from a million throats. And then, in the cold mathematics of warfare, humanity unleashed hell itself upon the stars.